Commander Jinneh's intelligence network had detected the Council's desperate plan. They were moving their ultimate weapon, a massive space station called the Galaxy Ender, toward Earth itself. The weapon could destroy entire star systems by creating artificial black holes. "They're going to try to destroy our homeworld," she reported to Admiral Hyunwoo. "If they can't rule the galaxy, they'll try to take us down with them." President Minho addressed the Terran Alliance from his office on Earth. Representatives from over 60 species listened to his words through quantum communication networks that spanned the galaxy. "My friends," he said, "the Council has chosen to make their final stand. They bring a weapon of ultimate destruction to our home, but we will not face them alone." Across the galaxy, the response was immediate. Saurid battle fleets left their desert worlds. Depths Union submarines emerged from ocean planets. Chlorophyll collective bioships grew from massive space trees. Dozens of species that had never worked together before united under the human banner. The Council's Galaxy Ender was truly massive, larger than Earth's moon, bristling with weapons that could crack planets in half. But it was old technology, built when the Council faced no real opposition. Admiral Hyunwoo commanded the Alliance fleet from Seoul's Pride. Beside him stood allies he could never have imagined 5 years ago. Scale Render of the Saurids had come personally to fight. Deep Singer Coralie coordinated the underwater assault teams. Even some former Council species had joined them, tired of their master's cruelty. "Remember," the Admiral told his mixed crew of humans and aliens, "we're not just fighting for humanity. We're fighting for the freedom of every species in the galaxy." The battle was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The Council's ancient superweapon fired beams of dark energy that could shatter moons. But the Alliance fleet moved like a living thing, each species contributing their unique abilities. Saurid ships, built for desert warfare, created sandstorm-like clouds of metallic particles that confused enemy sensors. Depths Union vessels used their water manipulation technology to create ice barriers in space. Human ships phased in and out of dimensions, striking from impossible angles. Captain So-Young coordinated the attack from her tactical station. Saurid Force Alpha created a diversion on the station's left side. Depths Union prepare to breach their underwater sections. Human strike teams, ready for phase jump insertion. The Galaxy Ender's crew fought desperately, but they were used to fighting primitive species with simple weapons. The Alliance combined the best technology from dozens of worlds. The Council had never faced anything like it. Engineer Wu Jin led a team of human and alien technicians who teleported directly inside the enemy station. Their mission was to disable the superweapon before it could fire on Earth. "This way," he told his diverse team, which included a crystalline resonance builder and a plant-based chlorophyll engineer. "The weapon's core should be through here." They fought through the station's corridors, using tools the Council couldn't understand. The resonance builder could walk through walls by changing her density. The chlorophyll engineer could grow vines that disabled electronic systems. Wu Jin coordinated their efforts with technology that let him think as fast as a computer. Meanwhile, the space battle raged around the massive station. General Tejo led marine assault teams that boarded enemy ships using teleportation technology. Unlike the Council's old-fashioned boarding parties, human marines could appear anywhere instantly. "Secure the bridge," he ordered his mixed human-alien team. "Remember, we want prisoners, not corpses. These beings can still choose to join us." This was the difference between the Alliance and the Council. When the Council won battles, they enslaved the survivors. When the Alliance won, they offered membership to former enemies. Dr. Su Jin worked frantically in the medical bays as casualties poured in from both sides. But her consciousness transfer technology meant that Alliance losses were temporary. Fallen pilots were back in action within minutes, while Council losses were permanent. "Another human fighter pilot down," reported a medical technician. "Consciousness successfully transferred," Dr. Sujin replied, "and he'll be back in a new body in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, prepare to receive wounded Council soldiers. We'll treat their injuries just like our own people." This shocked the alien prisoners. The Council had taught them that enemies were to be destroyed, not healed. Many began to question everything they had been told about humans. Inside the Galaxy Ender, Wu Jin's team reached the weapon's core. It was a massive chamber filled with swirling dark energy, the power to destroy star systems contained in one room. "Can we shut it down?" asked the chlorophyll engineer. "Better than that," Wu Jin smiled. "We can reverse it. Instead of creating black holes, we can make it generate healing energy." Working together, the mixed team rewired the ancient weapon. The resonance builder used her crystal powers to change the energy frequencies. The chlorophyll engineer grew special plants that could absorb dark energy and convert it to light. Wu Jin coordinated their efforts with human technology. On the Galaxy Ender's bridge, Vexithara watched her empire's final weapon being turned against her. "Fire the weapon," she screamed at her technicians. "Destroy the Earth." "We can't," they replied. "The controls aren't responding." "Then we'll detonate the station itself. If we can't win, we'll take them with us." But it was too late. Alliance forces had secured the entire station. When Vexthara tried to activate the self-destruct, nothing happened. Her weapon of ultimate destruction had become a tool of healing. Admiral Hyunwoo's voice echoed through the station's communication system. "Council forces, this is Admiral Hyunwoo of the Terran Alliance. You are defeated. Surrender now, and you will be treated with dignity and respect." Slowly, one by one, Council ships stopped firing. Their crews had seen enough. The humans offered mercy where the Council would have offered only death. Vexithara herself was captured by Captain So Young's boarding party. The proud crystal being who had once ruled the galaxy found herself face to face with a young human woman who treated her like a person, not a monster. "Why?" Vexithara asked. "Why don't you kill me? I would have destroyed your entire species." So Young helped the former council leader to her feet. "Because we're not you. We believe every being deserves a chance to choose a better path." 6 months later, the galaxy was a very different place. The old council station had been converted into New Geneva, the capital of the Terran Alliance. Instead of 12 species, ruling over hundreds, over 200 species now worked together as equals. President Minho gave his inaugural address as the first president of the Galactic Alliance. Representatives from countless worlds filled the Great Assembly Hall, not as subjects, but as partners. "We gather here not as conquerors and conquered," he said, "but as friends working toward a common future. The age of empires is over. The age of cooperation has begun." In the audience, former council leader Vexithara listened with new understanding. She had spent months learning about human culture and values. Now she served as a cultural advisor, helping her own people adapt to the new galaxy. Dr. He-jin's research stations were no longer secret. Scientists from hundreds of worlds worked together openly, sharing knowledge that had been hidden for millennia. Medical advances that could extend life for all species. Energy technologies that could power entire civilizations. Weapons that could protect, not destroy. Young Su's diplomatic corps had grown into the largest peaceful organization the galaxy had ever seen. Every day they welcomed new species into the alliance, not through conquest but through invitation. "We're not perfect," President Minho concluded his speech. "We'll make mistakes, we'll have disagreements, but we'll face them together as equals, as friends, as family." The galaxy had learned something important. Strength wasn't about who could destroy the most enemies. Real strength came from how many friends you could make. The human ultimatum had backfired completely. The Council had tried to force humanity into submission and instead had lost everything. But in losing, they had gained something better. The chance to be part of something greater than any empire. The age of the Galactic Alliance had begun, and for the first time in thousands of years, the galaxy was truly free. The news hit the galaxy like a shockwave. In cantinas and spaceports across 1,000 worlds, beings who had never heard of humans suddenly knew their name. The species that had destroyed the Council's invincible fleet became the topic of every conversation. On the water world of Aquatica, the Depths Union held an emergency meeting. These were fish-like beings who had been forced to give the Council half their ocean's resources for centuries. Their leader, an ancient creature named Deep Singer Coral Eye, spoke to the assembled masses. "The humans have done what we thought. Impossible, she said, her voice carried by underwater speakers. They have beaten the council in open battle. But are they our friends or our new masters? Asked a younger member. We will find out soon. The human diplomat Young Su has requested a meeting. Across the galaxy, similar conversations were happening. The reptilian Saurid Confederacy, the plant-based chlorophyll collective, and dozens of other species were all asking the same question. What did the humans want? Diplomat Young Su traveled between worlds in his ship, Harmony's voice. Unlike the Council's massive, intimidating vessels, his ship was designed to look peaceful and welcoming. It had large windows and gardens visible from the outside, showing that humans brought life, not death. Ambassador, said his aide Min Kyung as they approached the Saurid homeworld, their government is ready to meet with us. Young Su was a patient man who had spent his career studying alien cultures. He understood that trust would be more valuable than fear. Remember, he told his team, we're not here to conquer. We're here to offer partnership. The Saurid Chancellor, a massive lizard-like being named Scale Render, met the humans in his palace throne room. The walls were covered with trophies from the Council's victories over his people. Humans, Scale Render said, his voice deep and rumbling. You have done something remarkable, but why should we trust you? How do we know you won't become like the Council? Young Su smiled and gestured to his small team. Chancellor, look at us. We came here with 1 ship and 5 people. If we wanted to conquer you, would we need to ask permission? Then what do you want? Trade, friendship, an alliance of equals. We offer you our medical technology to help your people live longer, our defensive systems to protect you from Council revenge, our knowledge freely shared. Scale Render leaned forward, interested. And in return, your friendship, your unique knowledge of desert survival that could help our colonies, your craftsmanship that we admire, a galaxy where all species work together instead of serving one master. On the Council station, chaos reigned. The 12-member species that had ruled the galaxy for so long were arguing like children. Some wanted to attack the humans with everything they had. Others wanted to negotiate. A few were secretly considering switching sides. Vexithera's crystal body flickered with rage as she addressed the Council. We cannot let this stand. If we don't crush the humans immediately, every species in the galaxy will think they can defy us. With what ships? Demanded General Torvak. His proud military had been humiliated. The humans destroyed our best fleet like it was nothing. Our weapons can't even hit their vessels. Then we build better weapons, Vexithera screamed. With what time? Asked Krixtal. Half our subject species are already talking to the humans. If we don't act fast, we'll have no empire left to defend. The truth was, the Council's power had always been based on fear. For thousands of years, no one had been able to challenge them. But now the humans had proven it was possible. The illusion of Council invincibility was shattered. On Earth, President Minho met with his advisors to plan humanity's next moves. The victory at New Busan had been just the beginning. Sir, reported Defense Minister Heywan, we're receiving alliance requests from over 30 species. They all want our protection from Council retaliation. And our colonies? Asked the President. Growing rapidly. Species that were afraid to trade with us before are now begging for our help. We've gone from 200 colonies to over 500 in just 6 months. General Tejo spread out a galactic map on the table. Red areas showed Council territory while blue showed human space. The blue was expanding rapidly. The Council still controls the core worlds, he said, but their outer territories are slipping away. Every day more species declare independence and ask for our help. Are we ready for the Council's response? Asked President Minho. More than ready, sir. Our new allies are sharing intelligence about Council weaknesses. The Depths Union knows their underwater bases. The Saurids know their desert strongholds. The Ethereals who have joined us know their energy systems. This was humanity's greatest strength, not just superior technology, but the ability to make friends. While the Council ruled through fear, humans offered partnership. While the Council kept knowledge secret, humans shared it freely. Dr. Heijin, continued her research at Olympus 7, but now she had help from alien scientists who had fled Council space. A chlorophyll researcher helped develop new energy systems based on photosynthesis. A Depths Union engineer showed them how to build ships that could function underwater and in space. "We're not just stronger than before," she reported to Admiral Hyun-woo. "We're becoming something entirely new, a combination of the best ideas from dozens of species." The Admiral nodded. "And the Council? They're still trying to fight using thousand-year-old tactics. They haven't learned anything from their defeat. They still think raw power is enough." Young-Su's diplomatic missions continued to succeed. Species after species left the Council's empire to join the growing Terran alliance. Each new member brought unique knowledge and capabilities. The plant-based chlorophyll collective shared their ability to grow food in any environment. The crystalline resonance builders taught humans how to construct perfect materials. The energy beings called spark dancers showed them new ways to manipulate electricity. "We're not conquering the galaxy," Young-Su reported to President Min-ho. "We're liberating it. Every species we meet has been waiting for someone to free them from the Council's tyranny." The Council watched their empire crumble and finally made a desperate decision. If they couldn't beat the humans with normal weapons, they would use their ultimate weapon, a planet-killing device that could destroy entire star systems. But they didn't know that Commander Jin's intelligence network had infiltrated their deepest secrets. Humanity would be ready for whatever the Council tried next. The galactic balance of power had shifted. The age of the Council was ending. The age of the Alliance was about to begin. The Council's attack fleet moved through space like a swarm of angry metal insects. 200 warships, each one larger than a human city, approached the planet New Busan. Their energy weapons glowed with deadly light. Their force shields shimmered around their hulls. Fleet Commander Zixandra stood on the bridge of her flagship, watching the human colony grow larger on her screens. She was a proud member of the ethereal race, beings of pure energy who had conquered dozens of worlds. Her glowing form pulsed with confidence. "Such a small world," she said to her officers. "The humans have built their farms and little towns, right out in the open. They don't even have orbital defense stations. Should we demand their surrender first?" asked her second-in-command. "No," Zixandra replied. "The Council wants them to suffer for their defiance. We attack without warning. Let the galaxy see what happens to species who ignore our rules." On New Busan, Captain Jun-ho watched the enemy fleet approach from his command center deep underground. The room was filled with screens and blinking lights. Around him, human technicians worked calmly at their stations. "Enemy fleet will be in weapons range in 10 minutes, reported his tactical officer. "All defensive systems ready?" asked Jun-ho. "Yes, sir. Phase shift generators are charged. Dark matter cannons are loaded. Time dilation fields are standing by." Jun-ho was a calm man who had fought in many battles. But this was different. This wasn't just about winning or losing. This was about showing the galaxy that humanity would not be pushed around anymore. "Send a message to Admiral Hyun-woo," he ordered. "Tell him the party is about to start." High, above the planet, invisible to alien sensors, the human defense fleet waited. 50 ships hung in space, their hulls shimmering with phase shift technology that made them impossible to detect. These weren't the slow, clumsy vessels the Council expected. These were ships that could bend space and time itself. Admiral Hyun-woo stood on the bridge of Seoul's Pride, watching his enemy approach. Captain So-young worked at her station beside him, coordinating with all human forces. "Enemy fleet is beginning. Their attack run," she reported. "They're targeting our cities." "Let them get closer," the Admiral said calmly. "Let them think they're winning." The Council ships opened fire. Bright beams of energy lanced down toward the planet's surface, striking what looked like defenseless human settlements. Explosions bloomed across the landscape as buildings were destroyed. Zixandra smiled as she watched the destruction. Too easy. The humans aren't even fighting back. But something was wrong. Her sensors showed the explosions, but they detected no human deaths, no screaming, no panic. It was as if the Humans had simply vanished. "Commander," called her sensor officer, "I'm reading strange energy signatures from the planet's surface." "What kind of signatures?" "I don't know. I've never seen anything like them." That's when the first human ship appeared. Sol's Pride materialized out of nowhere, right in the middle of the Council fleet. One moment there was empty space. The next moment a massive human warship was there, its weapons already firing. But these weren't the primitive weapons the Council expected. Dark matter cannons fired beams of pure destruction that cut through alien shields like they were made of paper. The energy was so intense that it warped space around it. "Impossible," gasped Zixandra. "Where did they come from?" Before anyone could answer, more human ships appeared. They flickered in and out of normal space like ghosts, striking with deadly precision before vanishing again. The Council fleet, so confident moments before, suddenly found themselves under attack from enemies they couldn't see or predict. "Return fire," ordered Zixandra. "All ships target the human vessels." But the Council weapons couldn't hit targets that existed in multiple dimensions at once. Human ships used time dilation technology to move so fast that alien gunners couldn't track them. They attacked from the past and future simultaneously, making it impossible to defend against them. Dr. Sujin watched the battle from the medical bay of Sol's Pride. She was the scientist who had developed humanity's consciousness transfer technology. Around her, medical pods stood ready to receive the minds of any human pilots who might be shot down. "2 human fighters destroyed," reported a technician. "Pilots recovered," Dr. Sujin replied, checking her screens. "Transferring consciousness to fresh clone bodies now. They'll be back in action in 5 minutes." This was something the Council had never seen. Human pilots who were shot down didn't die. Their minds were instantly copied and placed into new bodies. Death became just a temporary inconvenience. Meanwhile, Council casualties mounted rapidly. Ships that had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years were being torn apart by weapons they didn't understand. Shields that had never failed were being cut through like tissue paper. "We're losing half our fleet," shouted Zixandra's tactical officer. "These aren't the humans from our intelligence reports." "Retreat!" ordered the commander. "All ships, retreat immediately." But it was too late for many. Of the 200 ships that had come to punish humanity, only 12 escaped. The rest were destroyed or disabled, their crews captured by human boarding parties who teleported directly through their shields. Captain Junho emerged from his underground command center to survey the battlefield. Pieces of alien warships drifted in orbit around New Busan. The planet's surface showed some damage from the initial attack, but the underground cities were untouched. Not a single human civilian had been harmed. Admiral Hyunwoo received reports from all 3 targeted colonies. The results were the same everywhere. The Council's mighty fleet had been destroyed. Humanity's true power had been revealed. "Send a message to Earth," he ordered. "Tell President Minho that Phase 1 is complete. The galaxy now knows we're not defenseless farmers." The news of the Council's defeat spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. Species that had lived under Council rule for millennia heard the impossible story. The humans, those primitive beings with their chemical rockets and metal bullets, had destroyed the Council's fleet. Everything was about to change. 3 weeks had passed since the Council delivered their ultimatum to humanity. In the great halls of the alien space station, the Council members gathered again to discuss the humans' response. "Still nothing," said Vexthera, her crystal body flickering with annoyance. "The humans have not replied to our message." General Torvak laughed, a sound like grinding stones. "Of course they haven't replied. They're too scared to speak. They know they cannot fight us." "Or maybe they're preparing to surrender," suggested Krikstal. "Smart species know when they are beaten." The Council members nodded to each other. They had ruled the galaxy for so long that they couldn't imagine anyone defying them. In their minds, human silence meant human fear. "Begin preparing the attack fleet," ordered Vexithara. "If the humans won't respond with words, we'll make them respond with blood." The Council's intelligence reports lay scattered across the meeting. table. Each report painted the same picture. Humans were weak. Their ships were slow and clumsy. Their weapons were primitive. Their defenses were laughable. "Look at this," said Torvak, holding up a datapad. "Human ships still use chemical fuel. They fire metal bullets instead of energy beams. Their fastest vessels can barely reach half-light speed." "Pathetic," agreed another council member. "Our ancestors were building faster ships when your species was still learning to make fire." What the council didn't know was that their intelligence was 50 years out of date. The human colonies they thought were defenseless farming settlements were actually something very different. Far from the council station, in a hidden asteroid base called Olympus 7, Dr. He Jin was working on humanity's greatest secret. The base was built inside a hollowed-out asteroid, invisible to alien sensors. Dr. He Jin was a small woman with tired eyes and brilliant mind. She had spent 20 years developing technologies that the council couldn't even imagine. Around her, teams of scientists worked on projects that would reshape the galaxy. "Status report," she called out to her team. "Quantum phase shift technology is ready," reported one scientist. "We can make entire fleets invisible." "Dark matter weapons are charged and tested," said another. "They can cut through any known shield." "Consciousness transfer systems are online," added a third. "Death is no longer permanent for our forces." Dr. He Jin nodded. "And the time dilation fields?" "Working perfectly. We can make our ships move so fast that enemy weapons can't track them." These weren't just theories. Human scientists had been working on them for decades, ever since humanity first encountered alien technology. While the council thought humans were primitive, human minds had been busy unlocking the secrets of the universe. On the planet New Busan, colonist Dong Hyun was leading what looked like a simple farming community. The alien spies who watched the planet saw peaceful humans growing crops and raising families. They had no idea what was hidden beneath the surface. "How are the preparations going?" Dong Hyun asked his assistant Min Jung. "All civilian areas are ready for evacuation," she replied. "The underground bunkers can hold everyone for months, if needed. And the defensive systems, fully operational. The council's scouts have flown over us dozens of times. They see only farms and small towns. They have no idea we have enough firepower to destroy their entire fleet." This was the truth the council couldn't see. Every human colony looked innocent from the outside. But beneath the surface, they were actually massive military bases. Underground factories built the most advanced weapons in the galaxy. Hidden generators powered force fields that could stop any attack. Commander Jin A of Terran intelligence sat in her secret office, monitoring council communications. She was an expert at breaking alien codes and understanding their plans. Through her work, humanity knew everything the council was planning. "Admiral Hyunwoo," she said into her communicator. "The council is moving. General Torvak is assembling an attack fleet." "How many ships?" asked the admiral's voice. 200 warships. They plan to attack New Busan, Terra Nova, and Harmony. Station at the same time. "When?" "In 1 week. They want to make an example of us." Admiral Hyunwoo was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke again. "Good. Let them come. It's time to show them what we've really become." On Earth, President Minho was meeting with his war council. The room was filled with the best military minds humanity had produced. But instead of looking worried, they all seemed calm and confident. "The council thinks they're hunting sheep," said General Taeho. "They have no idea they're walking into a trap." "Our ships are ready?" asked the president. "More than ready, sir. We have technologies they've never seen. When they attack our colonies, they'll get the surprise of their lives. And our allies. Several alien species have secretly agreed to help us. They're tired of the council's rule too. They're just waiting for someone strong enough to stand up to them." President Minho smiled. "Then let's give them that someone." The president activated a special communication system that could reach every human colony instantly. His message was simple but powerful. "My fellow humans," he said, "the time has come to show the galaxy who we really are. For 50 years we have let others think we are weak. We have hidden our true strength. Today, that changes. All across human space, people received the message. On New Busan, farmers put down their tools and walked to hidden weapon storage areas. On Terra Nova, miners emerged from deep tunnels, carrying advanced battle armor. On Harmony Station, scientists powered up experimental weapons that could tear holes in space itself. The Council had made a terrible mistake. They thought silence meant surrender. They thought primitive meant helpless. They thought human meant weak. Soon they would learn the truth. Humanity had spent 50 years preparing for this moment. While the Council grew comfortable and lazy, humans had worked day and night to become something new, something the galaxy had never seen before, something that would change everything. The massive alien space station hung in the darkness like a giant metal flower. Its 12 arms stretched out around a bright neutron star, each arm belonging to a different alien race. This was the home of the Galactic Council, the group that had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years. Inside the main meeting hall, 12 different alien beings sat around a circular table. The air was thick with tension. At the head of the table sat Vexthara, a tall creature made of living crystal. Her body sparkled with blue light as she spoke. "We have a problem," she said, her voice ringing like broken glass. "The humans are getting too bold." The other council members shifted in their seats. Some had tentacles instead of arms. Others had scales or fur or skin that glowed in the dark. But they all shared one thing. They were angry about the humans. "Tell us about their latest crimes," said General Torvak. He was a massive creature with 4 arms and skin like stone. His people, the Bruthen, had been warriors for millions of years. Vexithara touched a crystal panel. The air above the table filled with images of human space colonies. Green planets with cities, space stations with spinning wheels, ships moving between the stars. "Look at this," she said. 50 years ago, humans only lived on one small planet. Now they have colonies in over 200 star systems. They ignore our boundaries. They settle on worlds we marked as forbidden. An insect-like creature named Krixtal clicked his mandibles. Worse than that, they give weapons to primitive species. They share their medical knowledge. They break the rules we have followed for 10,000 years. "The rules that keep order in the galaxy," added Vexithara. "If every species acts like the humans, chaos will follow." Far away in human space, Admiral Hyunwoo stood on the bridge of his flagship. The ship was called Soul's Pride, and it was the most advanced vessel in the human fleet. Through the large windows he could see the blue and green planet Earth spinning slowly below. Hyunwoo was a tall man with graying hair and kind eyes. He had served in the human space force for 30 years. He had seen humanity grow from a single planet species to a galactic power. "Sir," said Captain So Young, walking up to him. She was younger than the Admiral, with short black hair and a sharp mind. "We're getting a message from the Galactic Council." Hyunwoo raised an eyebrow. "The Council? They haven't spoken to us in 5 years. This looks official, sir. It's marked as urgent." The Admiral nodded. "Put it on the main screen." The bridge's large display screen flickered to life. The image showed Krixtal, the insect ambassador. His compound eyes reflected the light as he began to speak. "Humans of the Terran Empire," he said, his voice buzzing. "The Galactic Council has reached a decision about your species. You have violated our laws. You have expanded beyond your permitted boundaries. You have interfered with primitive species." So Young crossed her arms. "Permitted boundaries? Since when do we need permission to explore space?" Krixtal continued as if he could hear her. "The Council offers you one chance to avoid punishment. You will stop all expansion beyond your home system. You will give up all colonies established in the last 50 years. You will submit to Council oversight of all your activities." The Admiral's jaw tightened. "All our colonies? That's 40 million people." "You have 30 Earth days to comply," Krixtal said. "If you refuse, the Council will take corrective measures. This is not a negotiation. This is an ultimatum." The message ended. The bridge fell silent. Finally, So Young spoke up. Sir, are they serious? Do they really think we'll abandon our colonies? Hyunwoo looked out at Earth again. Down there, in the capital city, President Minho was probably receiving the same message. The president was a smart man who had led humanity through difficult times before. They're serious, the admiral said, but they've made a mistake. What mistake, sir? They think we're still the same species they met 50 years ago. They think we're weak. On Earth, President Minho sat in his office reading the Council's ultimatum. The document was displayed on a holographic screen in front of him. Around the table sat his advisors, the smartest people in the human government. They want us to give up everything, said Defense Minister Hae-won. All our colonies, all our freedom. They're treating us like children, added Science Director Sumin, like we need their permission to exist. President Minho was quiet for a long moment. He was a man in his 60s with silver hair and steady hands. He had been a soldier before. Becoming a politician, he understood both war and peace. What they don't understand, he finally said, is that we're not the same humans they first met. We've learned. We've grown. We've prepared. Prepared for what, sir? Asked Hae-won. For this day. We always knew it would come. The day when the old powers would try to stop us. The president stood up and walked to the window. Outside, he could see the city stretching toward the horizon. Millions of people lived here and billions more lived on human worlds across the galaxy. Send a message to all our colonies, he said. Tell them the Council has made their move. It's time to show them what humanity has become. Back on the Council station, Vexthara was meeting with her military commanders. They were planning what they called corrective measures, an attack that would teach humanity its place. The humans have 3 major colonies, said General Torvak, pointing to a star map. New Busan, Terra Nova, and Harmony Station. We destroy these 3 worlds and the humans will surrender. How many ships will you need? Asked Vexthara. 200 of our best warships should be enough. The humans have only primitive weapons, chemical rockets, and metal bullets. There'll be no match for our energy weapons and force shields. Vexthara nodded. Do it. But remember, we want to teach them a lesson, not destroy them completely. A broken human species can still be useful to us. The Council members didn't know that their communications were being watched. Hidden in the asteroid belt around the neutron star, a tiny human probe recorded every word they said. And far away, in the hidden laboratories of human space, scientists were putting the finishing touches on weapons that would change the galaxy forever. The Council had made their ultimatum. Now humanity would show them the price of underestimating the human spirit.